What is up, everyone? Welcome into the Golden Edge Mailbag. I am Golden Knights beat reporter Ben Gotz. He is Golden Knights beat reporter Adam Hill, and we are here to answer all of your Golden Knights related questions. Quick reminder before we start, you can send all your questions to our Twitter handles. I am at Ben S. Gotz. He is at Adam Hill, LVRJ, or you can send them to my email at bgotz@reviewjournal.com. Before we hit some of these questions, though, Adam, we had some breaking news last night happen before we got to answer these questions. So Shea Theodore signs a 7-year, $5.2 million annual average value contract with the Golden Knights. What were your thoughts on that deal?
I mean, huge. Obviously, it wasn't that unexpected. We knew it was going to happen at some point. I don't think anybody thought Shea Theodore was going to just not play this season and lose that year toward, getting to his free agency. I don't think anybody thought that was going to happen. But, hey, for it to happen, to break at that time after the game, huge news and huge for the Golden Knights to lock him up for 7 years. I know that's what they wanted to do. Shea Theodore kind of wanted to bet on himself, have a short-term deal, and then, cash in at the end of that. But they've got him locked up. They believe he's going to be a superstar player. I think a lot of people have seen that potential in him. So if he lives up to that potential, a massive deal for the Golden Knights. But when you said there was breaking news, I thought you meant gritty. I know we're going to talk about him, but
we'll get to
I
gritty.
thought that's what you meant about breaking news. That was big last night.
That was big, but I thought Theodore was a little bit bigger. Obviously, this is a deal that could look really good for the Golden Knights if he continues on the trajectory he is on as a puck-moving defenseman. He's still only 23, so there's a lot of room for him to grow his game and become a better player for the Golden Knights. And so it'll be interesting to see what he's like moving forward. He'll get to camp on Thursday, we believe, and skate with the team. And Coach Gerard Gallant said he does expect him to be ready for that regular season opener, even though he's only got about a week and a half to prepare.
He's joining the team up in Montana at a retreat at Bill Foley's ranch, and then they'll come back Thursday. They'll start practicing. So he'll have basically a week to get ready. Gallant said he's in shape. He's been skating. He'll be fine. We'll find out if he's able to play opening night, but certainly to have him back in the mix is huge for the Golden Knights.
Good timing by Shea, too, to jump right on for the team bonding trip.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to some actual questions. We have one from @thegildedjester. I wonder how many fans of practice, because this is a tweet sent at me when I was at practice, are on the hashtag Brandwagon, which of course refers to Golden Knights prospect Eric Brandstrom, really skilled defenseman back there. But Adam, I have to imagine there's a few less people on the Brandwagon after last night because he really struggled in Monday's preseason game against the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, we've been kind of talking about the fact that when you watch Eric Brandstrom, you're blown away by some of the amazing plays that he makes, but you also realize that he's 19 and learning how to be a defenseman, and there's going to be mistakes along the way. So, when you see them so glaring, like you saw in Monday night's preseason game, it really, it's a jolt to you. You're like, whoa, okay, I just saw that. That was bad, and I think a lot of people saw that. So maybe some less people, but I think part of the Brandwagon also had a lot to do with the fact that Shea Theodore wasn't there. I think a lot of people were like, okay, well, Shea Theodore's not there, but look how awesome this guy is. This guy's exciting, and he is. And I think people have those visions now of those guys kind of anchoring the defensive core for a long time. But certainly I think there's a few less people on the Brandwagon after last night's performance, and also less people now that Shea Theodore is back in the mix are concerned about that spot. So I think maybe there's still room to jump on for you guys now, because I would suggest doing that. I think, last night is one preseason game at 19 years old. When he's played a bunch of games, he's probably a little bit tired from all the practices and all the games. I wouldn't take too much out of that game. Jump on the Brandwagon now. You might not arrive anywhere until a year from now when he's at the NHL level, but get on there. There's plenty of time to do it.
Yeah, long term, he's still got all the skill and all the talent in the world. It just takes a while for especially a kid like him to get adjusted to the NHL level, and that's perfectly natural. Now we had another question from @Bill_Slane. Shout out to Bill. How does the ice look? And I thought this was an interesting question because I thought the ice has looked good for all the preseason games. But the Golden Knights actually do have some very specific struggles when it comes to maintaining the ice. There is the temperatures outside. There's the fact that they pack a lot of people into that arena. So you have a lot of body heat packed in. There was 17,800 people there approximately last night, I believe. That's a lot of heat. And we saw after Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final last year, some players on both sides of the Capitals and the Knights said the ice was a little bit choppy. And so it's hard to kind of maintain this ice sheet in the desert. But overall, shout out to George Salami, their ice guy. I think he does a really good job.
For sure. You mentioned there was one time really last year where anybody saw anything noticeable, and that's when they're playing into June when it's 112 degrees outside. It's a little cooler now, and they've got things figured out. I don't even think the heat is that big of a factor. I think there's other things that go into it when they have a bunch of concerts and other things that have, you have to change the surface over a whole bunch of times, I think is where there's a bigger issue. But they've been great. The ice crew has been phenomenal, and we've heard several times from players, from Gallant, from everyone, that they really are impressed by how good the ice is on a consistent basis at T-Mobile. But I thought my answer, it's cold. It looks cold.
It did look cold.
It looks cold, and that's pretty much how it looked to me.
All right, well, we teased it. Let's get to our Gritty question. Does New Flyers mascot Gritty wear pants? That's from @FPlainfield. The answer is yes, I believe, but let's just take a look at Gritty so you all understand what's happening out in Philadelphia. They unveiled this new mascot yesterday. As I said, his name's Gritty. He is wearing pants.
Now, I think you need to be ready for this. This is clearly a question directed at me. I am obsessed with the fact that some mascots wear shirts but no pants. I talk about it all the time. I tweet about it all the time. It's very disturbing to me. I don't think mascots have to wear clothes necessarily, but I think once you put on a shirt, you better put on some pants.
Well, Grady did. He's got some breezers there. Got some nice hockey pants.
So I'm happy. I'm happy with this. He's got a jersey on, so I'm glad that he's wearing pants. That's good. That's a good start. No, we don't have to creep anybody out with the fact that he's not wearing pants. That's good. That's solid. And I got to tell you, all around, good job, Philadelphia. I like Gritty.
I am pretty freaked out by Gritty. And for those of you that thought Chance, the Golden Knights mascot, was bad, I think this is worse. And I know Chance thinks this is worse because Chance tweeted about Gritty this morning. I love mascot shade. Chance tweeted something to the effect, should I send Gritty a thank you card, retweeting an article, and you thought Chance was a bad mascot. So Chance throwing a little party for himself, celebrating that he is probably not the worst looking mascot in the NHL.
Let me tell you something, Chance. You're wrong. Gritty is awesome. Gritty is amazing. Look at Gritty. He's happy. He's demonic. He's all things at once. I don't even know how to really describe the attitude that he's portraying there. He looks like a Fraggle. That's way before your time, Ben. Apologize for that. Fraggle Rock, one of the great shows ever. I don't know what's going on with Gritty. I don't know what he is, but I want to find out. I'm intrigued. Chance, I don't care. I've been very adamant that Chance is awful. It's one of the few things this franchise has done wrong. Chance stinks. We know that. Gritty rules. We need to propose. George McPhee now has a Shea Theodore trade done. Trade Chance for Gritty. Get that done.
We're going to agree to disagree on Gritty.
What does Chance do? Did you see Gritty last night? He's falling down, making people laugh. He shot the gun. I think he hit somebody in the back. Gritty's doing things. Chance is just taking selfies all day. Gritty for VGK mascot. That's my proposal.
All right, we have one last question to get to, and sadly, it is not mascot themed because we really get into that discussion.
Yes.
Our friend Gianna writes in, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely will the VGK get to the playoffs again? I'm going to start out and say high, just because 16 out of 31 teams make the playoffs. So just from a baseline probability expectation, their odds are pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. And we actually have odds on this. They're about -$3 to make the playoffs, which I think puts them about 75%. I could be wrong. Math skills are not my thing. I would say 8 out of 10. That's where I'm going to put it. How likely they are to make the playoffs. Now, winning the division, that's going to be a battle. That's going to be a struggle. I do think there's going to be times of struggle and times of, things that they have to get through. There's going to be adversity to get through this season. Last year, despite the injuries at goalie, last year just went too well. You don't usually see that again. And there's typically a hangover from teams that don't win in the finals in all sports the next season. So I think there's going to be, you'll see those losing streaks. You'll see those periods of downtime. I do think they'll make the playoffs, but it's not going to be just an easy path to the division title like it was last year.
Yeah, every NHL team goes through its ups and downs, but this is a team, I think their top 2 lines are really solid, 2 of the best top 2 lines in the NHL. They obviously have a solid goalie in Marc-Andre Fleury, so barring any health-related setbacks, which of course are unpredictable, they can always happen, but I think this team is very likely to make the playoffs.
I'm going to put them at 8, but if they get Gritty, 9. Gritty makes them a 9.
Well, there you have it. That's all your mailbag and mascot talk here on Golden Edge.
Flyers are the opener.
Flyers
Is Gritty coming? We need to bring Gritty. That's our new.
We are starting a movement here on Golden Edge Mailbag. Remember, you can send all your questions to me on Twitter @BenEscotes. You can send them to @AdamHillLVRJ or to my email bgoats@reviewjournal.com. Thank you for being here at the start of a movement here on the Golden Edge Mailbag. We will see you next week.
Hashtag bring gritty.